Hey guys, Joe from Cincinnati here, and if you are watching this video, you're probably watching, at least are aware of the series that I'm doing right now. It's a post-restricted list with Crab Unicorn. I know it's not a super exciting list, and it's relatively well known. I mean, most competitive Crab players have built the deck, have played the deck, they know the deck. But, with the restricted list that came out a couple weeks ago, it just, there's a little bit more nuance, or not nuance, but there's some decisions that have to be made, and this is my deck tech to discuss the decisions I made, like the cards I used to replace charge and policy debate. That's what we're doing. So anyway, I'm playing 3 games against 3, in my opinion, quality opponents. The first 2 are, I don't know if Noman's a Hatamoto per se, but he's definitely a very good player. Like, he's a well-known Discord League player. He's like in the finals a ton, or maybe not a ton. He advances far a ton. I think he was in the finals of the no, he was in the top 4 for the Invitational. So the Invitational had 3 Scorpions in the top 4. It was Proust just the list. But anyway, he's obviously a good player. And then Schroeds is a Crab Hatamoto, was in the second video, and now I don't know if it's Show King or Shocking, but he's not as well known, to be fair. I think he's just starting to play in the Discord League now, but um, I could tell that he's a good player, and he's practicing against a lot of the top tier players. I think that he's got really good skill, and this game is actually entertaining. I had another game against Sly Knight, who's a Greek player, Discord League player, very good. I think that he made the finals in Season 5, if I remember correctly. I I don't remember exactly, but I think that he made the finals in Season 5, so he's a very good player. The problem was the game wasn't all that interesting. I got up on breaks, I got up on honor, and maybe if you guys want me to post that game, I will. Uh, it was kind of it was not a super like learn something game. This game, I feel like you would learn something from. I know I did. So let's watch it and find out what's going on. I'm second player because I'm lucky like that. Being second player is so fucking broken in this game. I call a lot of things broken when I think about it, but it's strong. I have a shrewd Yasuki, and he says, "In the end, can you give me advice?" So he's working hard to improve. I think that he's already pretty close to there. Um, from this game, I felt like he was a good player. So let's see here. I just do I do a full mulligan? I, I keep the Heated Guardian. That's fucking weird. I guess I just wanted a 1-cost character. Now, in this game, I'm practicing with the Finger of Jade. I think I have 1 in here. It replaced the Seal the Crab that was in the Scorpion deck, and the third mountain that was in the second game, the Crab game. I think that was like the main variation between these games. So, yeah. And then I just play a Steadfast Witch Hunter with 3, because I'm like, fuck it. Like, I didn't really want, I couldn't afford a lot of, like, more than a couple of those. I don't know why I kept the Heated Guardian. I guess I just was like, I want a 1-coster, but Kyle Envoy is just better. And then I didn't even buy the Kyle Envoy. So I buy the Steadfast Witch Hunter. I was expecting him to buy something else, like the Politician, but I wanted the Passing Fate or something like that, but he didn't. He just went with the one guy, which is a shrewd move. Like, that's something I would expect to happen in the Discord League, so I think that's a good play. He attacks into the Vanguard Warrior. I don't think there was any reasoning behind it, but hey, look, I can't play fucking Raise the Alarm if I had it in this deck. The thing that's annoying about this thing. So I defend. I think my plan was like, I'll defend, and then potentially win. Like, I'd like to win, and then I can attack with the Wayfinder on, like, military, say. But then I win. I was gonna like attack with the Wayfinder in military, and then sacrifice it to ready the Steadfast Witch Hunter, and all's good, right? I don't know why he pre-plays the political rival. It's kind of like showing his hand, like this is what I'm doing for the round. But um, it's not awful. Like he passed with 5 fate. Like I knew the fucking rival was coming, so it's not like a surprise. I attack militarily because I had this fan in my hand, and then he just assassinates it. So it's like a super bummer because I wanted to fucking stand my Witch Hunter. Like I wanted the ring, and then I wanted to stand my Witch Hunter, but it's not gonna work out that way. So he's just gonna get like, and then like, fucking political rival. I swear to God, when you don't have a defender, the political rival just like fucking finds Shameful Display and murders it. Like that's all it does every single time. Like that's like every game I ever played against Crane. The political rival just like runs in and finds something, and it's always Shameful Display. It's just a trend I've noticed. So anyway, I can't do anything. I don't have any fate. But you know, it's fine. Yeah, 3 strength political rival hits the 3 strength province, and I can't defend it because I couldn't stand my guy, or you know, he would political rival it anyway. Like he would covert it anyway, but you know, I didn't have fate. I couldn't muster a defender. It seems to happen a lot on turn 1. That's like a Crane favorite. That's like if Crane had like an album like called Greatest Hits of Crane. It's fucking play rival on turn 1, find Shameful Display. Now it was granted it was a 33% chance, but it's just like 33%, 33%, 33%, 33%. Eventually it starts to get improbable that it happens all the fucking time, but it still does. So once again he plays 1 character and passes. So he's got 5 fate going into this conflict. He was at 6 cards in hand to my 9, my 8. So I was like, I can low bid him and start the honor pressure right now because he already assassinated, and he had fewer cards in hand than me. How many? What was the exact count? Nope, this is he already bid. Go back a little further. Yeah, so it was 7 to my 8. So I was like, if I bid 1, I go to 9. If he bids 5, he goes to 12. It's not great. 9 to 12 is not great, but it's not like beatdown mode. And if he gives me 4 honor for that, I'm perfectly happy. You know what I mean? So, anyway, let's go back a little bit here. So I buy the Kaio Envoy and the Vanguard Warrior. He buys the Savvy Politician and bids 5. So he has 12 cards in hand, but he only has 4 honor. That means that I've got him. He's in my hands. But I do have a broken province, and his board state's pretty fucking powerful right now. He away the Crane Savvy Politician, and then he honors Nurishima, who is dishonored. So he gets back that guy at non-dishonor status, which is great because I'm already honor pressuring him. And then I just do a military air. The options he has is like defend with Nurishima, which he'd ideally want to attack with because it's his best military, or he can defend with the Savvy Politician. Now, I wasn't really looking at the time, but he has military favor. Like I didn't really put it together. So I thought, like, if he defends with the politician, he has to play a card to stop the break. Now he plays a Miyamoto's Fury, which is cocky. Like I think that he's like, you know, he doesn't have a conflict character. You know what I mean? Like he was just assuming that I did not have another character in my hand, so he did not defend and then Furies, and he thinks that's going to end the conflict. Well, and then he plays another one. So that's what okay. I don't really remember these games, so like when I see that, I'm like, ha, he fell right into my trap. I had a character ready for him, but no, he had double Fury. So double Fury on turn 2, not great. But I really want this air ring, so I sacrifice the Wayfinder to stand the Vanguard Warrior, and then he just passes. So what I can do is I can just bonsai, and he cancels it. So he's down to 8 cards to my 7, so I've already made up that deficit, and then I take an honor from him. So he's down to 2 honor, which is not great for him. You know, you want to have, you want to stay as far away from 0 honor as possible, theoretically. So he's trying to decide how he's going to declare his conflicts. So he goes into meditations, which is great for me. But he's doing political earth. I could defend with a Caillou Envoy, but it's like, why? Like, what? Why? So I'd rather just weigh the, like, so here's another case. I talked about it in my last video against the crab. I'll talk about it again here. He's attacking with 2 guys. They both have fate on them. I have meditations. So what I was thinking was, like, I weigh the crab, this Caillou Envoy. I draw a card, I gain a fate. It's like a net 0, right? He wasn't going to do anything this round anyway, because all I have is political left. And, you know, he's only a 1-0. His best, Caillou Envoy's best attribute is dying. So I was like, I'm just going to weigh the crab. So he has to choose between not breaking, because if he discards either one of these guys, he's not breaking, right? Or discarding the only defender he had left for my fan plus Steadfast Witch Hunter to attack whatever, you know? He has 4 fates, so he could have another rival or maybe a steward, but honestly, it's, you know, I could always court games and honor my guys so the 4 shame doesn't work, or whatever. You know, like, I had options. So I was thinking, like, Way the Crab makes it so that he can't defend with Narishima, or he doesn't break. Win-win, right? Well, he had Voice of Honor, his second Voice of Honor. So he has 2 Miyamoto's Furies and 2 Voices of Honor in his top 14 cards. It's not impossible. It's not, like, unfair, right? But it's kind of, like, annoying. Then he lets go my Watch Commander, which is a shame because the character wasn't in the conflict to make him lose an honor. But I just kind of, like, load up my cards because I don't want the Earth Ring to just randomly discard a card that I needed to, you know, do something. So I just kind of hope that he doesn't take my court games with this. And then it's like, of course. Wait, never mind, I played it. Yeah, so I guess I'm just, like, doing my best to not, what am I trying to say here? I'm doing my best to not lose the cards that I wanted to use to dishonor him. Anyway, so I go into, what is this, Fertile Fields? It's not a big deal. He's got 7 cards, so it's another one. I have Void Ring. I want to get rid of his whole board, is what I want to do. But then he plays another political rival, which is annoying. Political rival is a really strong card. So I go from winning and breaking Fertile Fields to he gets a political rival and defends it and everything. So he's just going to come in and he's going to get a 3rd break, I think, right? So, like, things are starting to unravel a little bit. Like, if he's got, yeah, he's just going to come in and he's going to break. This was a game where, like, I am way behind. Like, holy shit. I thought that I was doing well because I got him to 2 honor, but I'm like, look at this. I'm at 3 breaks on turn 2. Like, this is not going my fucking way. I have fate advantage on him, which is fine, but I don't have card advantage. He has twice as many cards as me. I do have this stacked up Witch Hunter, which is nice. Well, stacked up. He's going to be around for a while. But, you know, it's not fantastic. It's not, things aren't going perfectly. Let's just put it that way. So I have this route, and then I flip no conflict. I flip no little guys, which is so annoying when you have a Steadfast Witch Hunter. Like, that's so annoying. And then he gets Hotaru. So I was kind of thinking, like, this is it. This is the game. Obviously, you can see that it's not game yet because there's still, like, shit going on, right? Like, the game's not over. So, like, you can see the time window. There's still time in this game. So I play I play it like this so that I have a character to sacrifice with the Witch Hunter when it comes to be, and then I draw a conflict character. That was annoying to me because I was like, I just fucking overextended my board by buying this Crisis Breaker with the intention to sacrifice it for the sole purpose of just keeping myself alive with my Witch Hunter, and then I draw something that would have done the exact same thing. But I digress. So, he's got two Way of the Cranes, two Furies, and two, what's the other one? Let Go? Was it Let Go? Voice of Honor. Two Voice of Honor. So he's like seeing all the cards that kind of bend me over, and then he also saw Let Go. So he's doing really good. He's seen 16 cards and he's gotten pretty much everything that he needed to get to the point that he is right now. And this is why I posted the video, because like I think that this is a good play. He's playing very well. He's playing very efficiently. He does a political air. So here's the thing. Okay. So what he was doing here, he needs air because he needs to win to get honor back, but he can't really go into the stronghold because he knows if he goes into the stronghold and tries to double win air, which is what he needs to do, like he needs to win the air ring, right? So he needs to win the air ring, and he needs to what am I trying to say here? He needs to win the air ring, but if he attacks in the route of the cause, which is what's under my stronghold, he either has to attack in the military and then I don't flip it, or he attacks politically and then I do flip it. So either way, his first attack was not going to be political air if he attacked in the stronghold. So he knew he needed to do a political air with Hotaru to survive, because he's at 2 honor. He needed to get back up to 6 honor. 4 honor was not going to save him, theoretically. So he knew he had to come here. He could not attack in a rally, at least first action. Now, what he could potentially do is he could have gone into rally with like this guy as a military, right? And then I have to defend with my Crisis Breaker, you know, to stop it. Or I'd keep it military, most likely. And then defend. I definitely would keep it military. And then I'd defend with a Crisis Breaker. And then I would win on defense, but that would deny me from doing the air ring. Or even if I wanted to do the air ring. I don't even think I really want to do the air ring at this point. But I could have, because I have route. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. He needed to get the air ring in order to win this game, in order to get out of the danger zone. So he does the sensible thing. He goes with Hotaru into the 4th province to not flip it so that he can get that double activation that he needs so desperately. Unfortunately for him, I had 0 fate because I overextended with this Crisis Breaker. And then I don't really know why I did this. Anyway, I needed to activate route because I needed to route home Hotaru. So I needed Kasada in there. I think what I didn't want to happen is I didn't want to route home Hotaru and then have Kasada bowed by the box, and then he plays like, I don't know, something else. I don't know what he would have played. But anyway, I route her home. She's only good in 1/4 of the conflicts of the game, and that's political attack. So by taking away his political attack, I'm kind of like turning off Hotaru. In a way. I mean, she still gets to attack. She's still 6 military. But, you know. Bleh. I just do a water ring. I'm like, hey, I'm going to stand my people. Why the fuck not, right? If he defends, that's fine too. He's going to bow his Hotaru to stop my water ring. Then I can just sacrifice this dude to ready somebody and move on with my day, right? He uses For Shame, and he gets canceled by Kasada. And then I pass. And then what does he do? I think he does it again. I bow him, and then I ready him, because I can do that, because I'm Bala. And then he plays a Fine Katana. So it's just like, okay, so he had enough to stop me. It's not wonderful, but it's not terrible either. So now I think I have to sacrifice the Crisis Breaker to stand the Witch Hunter. Because I need that. I want to keep that Spyglass going. What am I doing? Am I seriously gonna risk him doing this? Hmm. See, he can only attack for 6 military. I'm not gonna flip it. So it's just gonna be a 6 military attack. I have this Aichi Wayfinder if he gets up to like 7 or 8, then I can just put in 2 additional strength. I guess I felt pretty confident. He has 2 cards. His 2 cards are not another Fine Katana and Admit Defeat. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to, I guess I didn't want to stand my guy yet. That's an odd choice. I don't know why I'd do that. But anyway, I don't flip it because I want it to stay military. Then I just pass. It's 7. Oh, I guess I have to. Because of the fucking favor. That fucking favor, man. Hate that shit. So he is breaking at 7. So then I just play the Wayfinder. I'm like, if he's got an Admit Defeat, then I lose the game. Right? There's nothing I can really do about that. He's not breaking, and he lets it go. It's not ideal, but it's also like not much I could do about it. And now I can actually just sacrifice the Wayfinder to ready my Witch Hunter instead. So he's out of conflicts. I can do a political. Fucking still that fucking guy. Like that political rival is just so good. So dumb. I just want to draw the card really. Because there's no fate to farm either. So annoying. So he gets to win again with this political rival who's just done. Like political rivals do so much work. It's kind of crazy. So he gets the favor again. This game, like I've won like a couple conflicts this entire game, and most of them are on defense. Like maybe oh no, I couldn't have done that because he did the air ring. If I could have air ringed and then like routed home somebody. So here I do weigh the crab. I want him to get rid of one of his fucking guys. Like I lose a crisis breaker, but he loses a political rival, and political rival is so fucking annoying. So anyway. Yeah, I play Satoshi with 1, and then I top deck a Spyglass, which is fine with me. Now, this is another situation where I don't really have any characters to sacrifice to the Wayfinder, or to the Witch Hunter, but I do have a couple of Keeper Initiates in my discard pile. So I have to decide, like, do I do air and continue the pressure, or do I just do Earth and just get a bunch of characters? I think you know the answer to that question. Let's see if I do. Do I know the answer to that question? I guess not. I guess I don't know the answer to that fucking question. So I do fire because I want to continue honor pressure. I guess I can. I guess I do it so I don't have to deal with an honor Tataru. You know, it's not a terrible play, but it's not ideal. There's a chance I just play the skirmisher just to sacrifice it to stand my Witch Hunter. Poor bastard. Yeah. Never even use the skirmisher to do anything. Just doing that. So I'm readying my Witch Hunter so that I can defend with him. You know, it's not a great scenario to be in because he could get up to 4 because he can take an honor from you with Asami. So he can like get out of the danger zone relatively well here, which is unfortunate for me. But at least I'll most likely get favor. What is he doing here? He attacks 8 political into my box. I think I just double defend this with the Witch Hunter and Satoshi if he does end up doing this. I find it odd because like you kind of want Asami in there, right? Like this is so okay. This is one thing I will say about Crane, and something that I want people to kind of like think about a little bit. Crane has all these characters that are great in political, and then just trash everywhere else. Like he had like the way he has this. He's got these three people here. I attacked political. He couldn't defend with Asami because he wouldn't be winning, so he couldn't trigger her. He couldn't defend. Well, he could, but he didn't want to defend with Asami. He didn't want to defend with Hotaru because then her ability doesn't go off. So he had to defend with his little 2-0, which basically just stopped unopposed. Like it didn't actually do anything. Um, then he has to decide like how am I going to attack. He's got these two characters. They do absolutely nothing outside this conflict right here. Like they're a 3-6 or a 3-8 right now and a 1-3, and they do nothing outside of political attack because Hitaru only works on attack, and Asami, this is the last political conflict of the round. So if he doesn't do both of them right now, he does not get their benefit, which works to my benefit because I want him to attack with a bunch of people so I can come back with a bunch of attacks, or with at least one attack. So I defend this way, draw 2 more cards, and I get a watch. I get a watch commander. I fucking love watch commander, man. It's so fucking good. I just put a watch commander on Satoshi. Now I can just box, and I can go up to winning. So he plays the court games, and it gets canceled. I think that right there is probably like the game-losing mistake, is that he forgot about Kasada. And Kasada gets forgotten about all the time. So when he did that, he wanted to get above me. So he needed to get above me to use Asami's ability, right? So he needed to court game Hotaru to go up to 14 to 11. And then I would just box and go to 13, and then he would play it. He would use Asami to get back the honor he spent to play the court games. It makes sense, right? Except for Kasada. So I think that was a big mistake on his part, is forgetting about Kasada there. Because it cost him an honor. It lost him one of his honor, honor tokens that he would get that it help him. And he says, I always forget about Kasada. And then he plays another card. He plays a fan on Hotaru. So he's like working really hard to win this conflict because he needs to. He needs to get that double air ring. He needs to get out of the danger zone. Now, and I will tell you, like as I'm watching this game, I remember it's always hard fighting uphill. And when your opponent has more cards than you, and they have more strength in the conflict than you, you have to think really hard about playing a card that's only going to tie you. Because yes, attackers win ties, but he just spent an honor that he did not really have. Like now, he essentially, he needs me to not have anything else. Now I do, I have a spyglass, so I can still win this conflict, and he has 1 honor. He cannot actually do anything. So those 2 cards in his hand may as well not exist. When he played that Ornate Fan, he was saying, I'm betting the game that you do not have any more political stuff. Wait, shit. I don't have any honor or fate. I just went on a rant for no fucking reason. I need to pay more attention. Let's see what I do. Yeah. just went on a rant. I just went on a rant condemning what he did, and it fucking worked. I'm an idiot. I'm so fucking dumb. Alright. Anyway. I declare military void to get rid of Hotaru, because Hotaru's a pain. I think it works. God, I'm so fucking dumb. I cannot believe I just condemned what he did, and it fucking kept him in the game. I should have looked at the timestamp. I'm an idiot. I thought he lost right there, but he didn't. So I lose the Witch Hunter, and then I think I just discard that Witch Hunter. I need some low cost characters, and I still don't get them. So I have Vanguard Warrior, which is nice. He plays Shizue. So he had an even worse flop. He had a favorable ground, 2 Imperial Storehouses in Shizue. I mean, the storehouses are great because he gets to draw a couple more cards, but his board state is not great. So I have a choice. I think I just do I do this with 1? Nope, I just pass. I don't need that Borderlands Defender. And I bid 1. I still have this Satoshi that I can get into 2 conflicts. to continue to abuse this watch commander and what's it called? Spyglass, and then he plays his third political rival. So it's at this point where it's like just he's getting a ton of really good shit, and I don't, you know, I'm hanging by a thread. I'm glad I got rid of that Hotaru because, and then he plays Let Go. So he's getting everything he needs to kind of get rid of all the shit that's really hurting him. Um, with that said, because I got rid of Hotaru last round, I don't think he had enough to break. He can just still win conflicts, but he can't actually break any conflicts. He's got like 6, 7, 8 attack. I defend with like 1 strength and I'm fine. And I just defend with Kasada because Kasada, I think I might throw. I have favorable ground, so like if the shit hits the fan, I can always just favorable ground in Satoshi. So I wasn't really worried about losing here because of extenuating circumstances. I was confident that I wasn't going to lose at this point. But he's definitely getting the good cards. He's getting all the good cards. So he attacks. Let's go declare that shit. He's doing fire. I guess to dishonor Satoshi, I would have probably would have just done water personally, because then you water Satoshi, right? Isn't that the better play? So he plays a young Harrier. Why does he do that? I don't know why he does that. Why did he do that? Okay, he played the young Harrier, I guess, to eat Kasada's cancel. Is that why he did it? Oh, I guess so. You could play Asami. You could use Asami's ability. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he did it. Yeah, so he can use Asami's ability. He basically played the Harrier. He played a Fate and dishonored a character so that he could use Asami's ability. It's not a great use, but it's not much you can do about it. And then he sends home his little dude, the defender. But the good news is that because of that, I can actually do like a military conflict. And he doesn't have any military defenders on the board. Now he could have stewards, of course, but he dishonors Satoshi. So Satoshi can't really do a political conflict anymore because he'd just be, well, I guess he could, but he'd just be running into the, what's it called, political rival. So I think the choice is between Shameful Display and Fertile Fields, so I just do Fertile Fields. I do a Military Earth for 2. Yeah, so I can get my Keeper Monks, put up a little bit more resilient of defense against whatever he may have, if I do end up getting it. And then I get my Keeper Monks and maybe a break. So he can't defend right now. If he has a Steward, then that just means that he can't dishonor my guy. He can just honor his Steward, which isn't really anything. So I play the Katana and I break the Shameful Display. I discard cards, get my Keeper Initiates. I could have used Satoshi there. I don't think there was any downside to using Satoshi, but I don't know. I just didn't feel the need to, I guess. I draw a rebuild, which is great. Never have too many rebuilds. And now he cannot declare anything right now. Is that a fine katana? He attached a fine katana to political rival. Why'd he do that? Why'd he do that? I don't know why he did that. And then my Spyglass draws my 3rd Watch Commander, which is just ridiculous. Like I've been talking about him getting a bunch of nice cards. I'm getting a bunch of nice cards too. Like I got all 3 Watch Commanders when I needed them, which is just great. So I play the Watch Commander, which makes me winning, and then so I take an honor from him, and then at the end of the round, this guy goes away and he loses his final honor. So that was an example of a game where I really got behind early on. Like I was down 3 breaks. He was at 2 honor, but he had a Hataru, and you just know Hataru's gonna resolve a double air conflict eventually, and he did on the conflict that I was talking about fighting uphill, which it was apparently not a good example because he fought uphill and then he won. By fighting uphill, what I mean is, let me see if I can find that conflict. Was it this? Yeah, it was this one right here. So, like he plays an ornate fan to go up 13 to 13, and he cannot play any more cards. So because of Watch Commander, you cannot play any more cards. He has 1 honor. So this is where the game ends. If he doesn't win this, he loses the game. So when I say fighting uphill, I mean he played a card that put him into a losing position. If I had an answer, if I had any kind of answer, like if I had an Ornate Fan, I think I'd only played like 2 by that point, so I could have had another Ornate Fan, or I could have had a Court Games, or I think those are the only ones really. But yeah, I could have had a fan or Court Games, and that would just win me the game because then I win on defense. Casada stays active, and I can just attack with Casada, and he can't do much of anything against me. Now, I also had Karate District, so if I had a Fate, I could have just taken the fan. So it really was contingent on the fact that I had 0 Fate. But what I mean by fighting uphill is that when you're playing cards into a conflict where you're already disadvantaged, when you have a card disadvantage as well. It worked out for him here. I typically don't recommend it because a lot of times you're just spending cards and then you lose a conflict anyway. In this case, it won the conflict and actually prolonged the game. But it's just a general tip if you care about general tips. It worked out for him. I'm not saying anything bad about him. He played very well. In fact, getting 3 breaks, and actually he was pressuring my stronghold the entire second half of the game. And it was just a few minor errors that really cost him. Like, playing the Court Games into Casada that forced him to play a fan to win the conflict. Like if he had 1 more honor, we go to the next round here. Yeah. So if he didn't play that Court Games and he just played the fan, then he ignores Casada, and then he still wins that conflict. He has 2 honor there, and he goes to 6 honor rather than 5 honor, and then he'd be at 1 honor after this guy goes home, or after this guy is discarded, and I win the air ring. So, there were opportunities there. He made a couple critical misplays. I think the Casada one is the main one. Fighting uphill was a dangerous play, but it ultimately worked out for him. I think he had to win that conflict anyway. I think his viewpoint was like, if I lose this conflict, I lose the game anyway, so it didn't really matter to him. But the Casada cancel was a big mistake, but I think that was really the only mistake he made the entire game. Pre-playing the rival before my conflict was weird, but it didn't ultimately impact anything. So, if he's watching, I'm sure he'd watch this game. That is my main advice to him. He asked at the beginning for advice. That's my advice, is to watch out for Casada, watch out for fighting uphill, because while it worked out here, it doesn't always work out, and it can actually lose you a game. And then with rivals, don't play them until you absolutely need to. Just a general rule, I guess. So, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to upload this game along with the other 2. I'm going to kind of package them into a playlist, and then I'll post it at some point. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.